This is the original MacBook Pro M1, the computer that shook the whole tech industry. And today, we are going to be taking a look at this beautiful machine. But hang on, because we need to go back in time, back to the day when it all happened.
Now let's get started by spending a few minutes on a deep dive into this new chip with Johnny.
M1 is a breakthrough chip.
So when Johnny took the stage, he kept showing a bunch of ambiguous graphs with no actual data on it. Although this raised some concerns, but I knew that this chip is gonna be good. But boy was I wrong, cause what's under this hood is insane. Look, I have been a PC user my whole life, but after this laptop made its way into my possession, I just thought if I'm getting these performance at this level of efficiency and at this price point, I don't care. Just take my money, Apple.
Yeah, we know the M1 is fast.
Sorry, what did you say?
Everyone knows the M1 is fast. You don't have to keep telling them that.
I mean, come on, it's
You
just...
know what? Relax. Go grab yourself a drink. I'll make this really quick.
Okay, fine. I'll be right back.
Sorry about that. Anyway, what I really love about the MacBook is the power efficiency. It's actually mind-blowing. Now I edit a lot of photos and videos, and this can easily last me a couple of days. If you do lighter workloads like web browsing and stuff like that, you can easily squeeze out a couple of more hours on top of the already mind-blowing endurance. Also, taking into account that the newer M1 chips are out now, you should probably expect to see a price reduction in the original M1 MacBooks. Alright, those are my 2 cents on the MacBook. I'll be seeing you guys again very soon.
Okay, so the M1 processor is available in the MacBook Air, the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, and the 24-inch iMac. But I opted for the MacBook Pro, obviously. Some might say the difference between the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air needs to be much bigger, which I completely agree with, but you still get much better battery life with the MacBook Pro. The battery life on this is the best I have ever used on any laptop. It's safe to say that I have never worried about battery life whilst using this machine. It comes with a 61-watt power adapter in the box, which I just leave plugged in at my desk, and I just use my OnePlus charger if I'm on the go. And I can't tell you how much easier it made my life. I can charge everything with just one cable. My phone, my iPad, camera, gimbal, everything except for an iPhone. I mean, they really need to stop with this joke. Like, come on, seriously. So anyways, some might complain about the dated design on this MacBook, but I understand why they did that. Apple obviously wanted to make a good first impression with their brand new chip, and they didn't want to take any risk by changing the already working design. But I just wish it had smaller bezel like its brother, the M1 Pro. The huge bezel also means that the highly controversial touch bar is still here on this MacBook. I personally don't hate it, but I'm not gonna miss it either if it's gone. But unlike the touch bar though, I love the trackpad. It's large, it's smooth, it is all you need for a trackpad. So I use this laptop for pretty much everything, from planning, audio recording, video editing to even client works. And so far it had been a breeze. Yes, there was some bugs at the beginning, but pretty much all of them is fixed with the brand new macOS Monterey update. Anyways, launching apps on this machine is extremely fast, thanks to the super fast SSD. Here's a quick comparison from my desktop PC.
So for this test, we're going to be launching Davinci Resolve on this MacBook and on my PC. So let's see how it goes. And bam, I'm already in. It is just that quick. I can even start opening my project and continue editing as soon as it loads up. There you go. I mean, the speed is just mind-boggling.
And the best part is, all this performance stays the same even when you unplug this device. That is not the case with any other laptop. This means that I can work on big projects pretty much anywhere.
So currently I am in the middle of nowhere, like literally, and I'm editing a video on my MacBook Pro. I'm not plugged in and the fan is not even turning on. Like, come on, I'm editing a 4K video here. And to top it all off, the surface temperature is not even that hot. So on the topic of editing video, let's see how this performs in Davinci Resolve. Now we're back in the studio and I've opened up a recent project that I did, and all of this is shot in A7 III. It is all in 4K, and as you can see, it is playing back everything pretty smoothly. There is no problems whatsoever. But as soon as I turn my color grade on, yeah, everything starts to fall apart. But to be honest, I am kind of pushing this laptop quite a bit because I do have some OFX nodes such as glow, noise reduction, and stuff like that turned on. So once I've turned them off, as you can see, there is some performance improvements, but it is obviously not enough. Now you can go to the playback tab and turn on proxy and render cache, but what I found really useful is just go to your timeline settings, and just change this from 4K to 1080p. Now hold on, I know that you wanted to shoot and edit in crispy 4K, but trust me, once you have done all your edits, you can just change this back to 4K and Davinci Resolve would be smart enough to do all the scaling for you. So now let's move on to some other drawbacks that I can think of for this laptop.
First of all, if you are planning to hook up multiple external monitors, well, you can't. That's because the M1 SoC is listed to only support 2 displays, and you only have room to hook up 1 external monitor. This also means that the Mac Mini will support 2 displays because it doesn't have a built-in panel. Besides that, having only 2 ports really limits the capabilities of this laptop. I mean, thank God the headphone jack is still there. And this brings us to the speakers and microphone. Both of them are insane. The microphone is so good that I would legit use the audio coming from this if I didn't have my studio microphone with me. So far, the M1 might sound amazing, which it is, but you are sacrificing pretty much everything in terms of future upgradability. That is just the nature of M1. Unlike a regular PC that has separate hardware to do its task, the M1 have things like CPU, RAM, and GPU all built into one chip, hence the name SoC, System on Chip. This is also the reason why this laptop performs so well while still being so efficient. You know, for the first time, I was very shocked to see how affordable a product from Apple could be. It is not cheap, but if you take into account the technological leap this thing is making, I would say it's a pretty sweet deal. Heck, I would even go as far as saying that the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air is hands down the best bang for the buck laptop that you can get, if you're planning not to game. I know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really like where Apple is heading right now. The M1 made a huge impact on computers in general, and I hope that they don't screw it up in the future. And so far, the future is looking real good. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.